Sharpening a knife like the White Hunter is a little more tricky. The problem is with the rounded shape here on the downside, you will create like a hollow where you only sharpen between the two spots in the corners of the stone. So let's have a look at how you sharpen this wonderful knife. See here, as I said, when putting it down, it doesn't reach the edge in the middle. It only reaches the edge on the two sides here. So up on this end here, there's no problem. You can do like I showed you before, but with the bend here, that's a problem for, you know, for a wider stone. What you can do is you can use the edge here a bit. This is a bit rounded off, so you can use that. It means, you know, there's a smaller surface and it reaches the actual, you know, the hole of the knife. You can also find a less wide stone. This is from my Lansky set, and this will do the same. There's no part where it doesn't, you know, end up touching the edge. So I would sit like this with the knife and look at the angle, and again, you know, drag the stone over the edge. So you can see you actually, you know, hit the edge all the way around. But it is more tricky, and it's a wider blade, so the angle, even though it's the same angle as on a small blade, you know, the width of the edge is going to be bigger, so there's a lot more to remove. Using a machine like the Tormek is for me the easiest way to sharpen a knife. You have these jigs that hold the knife in place. You have the land here and you hold the knife, and that means, you know, the edge is always on point. And when using, like I did before, when using a freehand stone or a whetstone, even a small, you know, lift changes the angle and can corrupt the sharpening you're doing. So with an setup like this, you know, it's always going to be the same because you hold it on the land here. This here is a whetstone, so this demands water. Again, I'm gonna draw on the edge here so that I can follow along, you know, where I sharpen. And this is really helpful both freehand and with the machine, or as I said, on the Tormek you can change the grit of the stone here, and I'm just gonna round the edges off a bit. First with the coarse side and then with the fine side, and that's so you don't end up destroying the edge using the corners of the stone here. First off, I'm gonna check if the angle is okay. It takes, you know, on the back side of the grinds on the back side of the actual edge, so I'm gonna lift the land a bit. See, this here was better, a little too much, a little down. There, I'm gonna use a little bit of the edge of the stone here. It takes on the edge all the way, but keep in mind that you always grind in sort of like the same place on the stone. The further you go out, the less steep the angle is gonna go, and the more you turn in, the steeper the angle is gonna go. So keep in mind that your shape is, you know, sharpening on the same level of the stone all the time. Now you can see here, all the black is gone. all the way out. This wasn't, you know, damaged, so I'm gonna stop for now and just gonna give it a polish. There's no need to sharpen off any of the material if it's not, you know, if it's not necessary. So this is how I keep my White Hunter and my Automesser sharp. A little more tricky knife to grind, but not impossible at all. And you can also make the angle as you want it. For instance, a smaller angle at the bottom of the blade, so that, you know, it cuts better, and a wider angle at the end, so you don't have a fine edge that can be corrupted when chopping. So you can kind of, like, you know, make your knife as you want to. So as I used the leather strap before, I'm gonna use the leather side on my Atomic now, and of course keeping the same angle as before. The easy thing with a machine like this is, you know, this is like 3 times the length of this around the wheel. So every turn this takes is like 3 strikes on a strap like this. And it's the same with the stone. You know, it turns around as it goes, and you don't have to move the knife yourself. So it's faster and easier. Takes, you know, more expensive, but if you sharpen a lot of knife, it is really nice. And as I said, keeping the same angle on the leather here, so you don't destroy the edge you just made. Really sharp, mirror polished again. This is ready to go out, both on my stomach and in my hands. So now it's sharpened, polished, ready to go out and have some adventures again. Get out there, get yourself some sharpening gear, and keep your knife sharp. As always, comment if you want something explained in more depth. Share and subscribe to our channels, both on Instagram, Facebook and TikTok. YouTube, of course. It means the world to us, and we enjoy making these videos for you, showing the products, showing how to use them. If you want yourself some sharpening gear, check out pumaknives.com. They have water stones, the Hall sharpening system, and you can buy yourself a Atomic, the T4, the little brother to the T8 here. But go in, look at the sharpening and maintenance stuff they have, so your knife can, you know, keep being sharp. And of course, use the code Lars10 discount code and get 10% off your purchase. That also includes the sharpening gear. So until next time, have a good one, and keep your knives sharp and your fingers out of the way.